How are we looking today? We up? We up? Yes. Notifications. No, that person's wrong. Okay. Well, boys. Bounce Man Army. How are we today? Hope we are doing good on this fine Friday afternoon. Them Commander Unbans. Oh boy. I'm gonna be real. I did not see the Unbans I was hoping for, but still was a really big announcement. Also, bracket changes. So we have a lot of things to discuss today. Give it a few minutes for people to hop in here. My boy Primetime, bro, your boy Primetime is never getting freed. Never. I mean, actually, to be honest, he might be. I don't think he should, but he might. You know, next year at least. So they said they don't want to do any more format changes for the rest of the year. So for the next 7-8 months, nothing. He never did anything wrong. Okay, alright. Here's the thing. The thing with Primetime is that he's one of those cards that never gets, like, power creeped. Because the effectiveness of Primetime scales with the, like, the state of non-basics in the format. Primetime is arguably the strongest it's ever been nowadays because of, like, Field of the Dead and all these, like, nuts non-basics. So that's why like Primetime is kind of like a really not safe unban, because it's one of those cards that scales with time. However, they have said that they have like considered unbanning him. So with Field of the Dead, it becomes a Grave Titan too. Grave Primeval Titan, absolute cinema. Ice Giant Kindred. Give it a bit for people to hop in here. So, Gavin made a video, and there's also an article. I don't know if I want to read the article with chat, and then we, like, discuss as we go, or if I want to, like, watch the video and react to it with chat. I'm not sure what the, my plan is there. They have the same info. Yeah, like I think there's slight changes. Like the article has like the reasonings why other cards didn't get unbanned. I don't think the video has that, but maybe I'm wrong. I think we're probably gonna do the article first, because the article just gives me more to work with. I think reaction content is kind of like not super fun to watch. At least in today's content economy. Like, I think there's slight differences. I'm not really sure it's worth it to do both for, like, the slight changes. Final Fantasy apparently is, like, the best-selling set ever, and it's not even out yet. I don't know if y'all saw that. Like, apparently it has more sales than Lord of the Rings does, and the set doesn't release for another 2 months. I don't know how it's possible. I think Chris Cox might be capping on that. Like that feels like cap on the CEO's part. Maybe I'm wrong. I find it actually. Bounce Man energy. A many guy. Final Fantasy best-selling. Where is this article? I saw it. Where? I know I. Here we go. Okay. MTG and Final Fantasy, already the best selling site of all time. This is Star City Games, their site. Hasbro released its first quarter financial report that shows company's first quarter revenue increased 17% behind Magic the Gathering. Those numbers could continue to grow as pre-sales for Final Fantasy have already... The pre-sales for Final Fantasy have already made it the best-selling set of all time, according to Hasbro CEO Chris Cox. That has to be cap, dude. That has to be cap. There's no way. That has to be cap. It doesn't say, like, per product, right? No, surely not. Wizards of the Coast revenue drivers. Wizards Tabletop, Wizards Digital. MTG Arena is 1% of revenue. Okay. Understood. When trying to pinpoint the success and growth of Magic, Hasbro CEO Chris Cox said it's difficult to identify just one thing. Tabletop digital secret like Arcade Director orders. It's difficult to identify just one thing as tabletop. Digital, Secret Lair, Tarkir, and Universe Beyond products all lead to a growing consumer base. What we're seeing is an expansion of the player base. I agree with that. When you expand the player base, it's a great opportunity to engage with more products and create a network effect among the players and collect a community, and we see the only strengthening as the year goes. Cox said. It is very clear to us that Universe Beyond is a strategy has increased the total active installed player base of Magic players, which I agree with, both in terms of reigniting lapsed fans as well as bringing in new fans. I agree. Look, I've said before, I'm not really a full-on Universe Beyond hater. I acknowledge that it has pros. And this right here absolutely is like the biggest pro. Universe Beyond has been a amazing method to actually get more people into the game. Like, I'm Gen Z. I got into Magic during like Core Set 2013. I'm sure there's probably several Zoomers getting into Magic because of all the crossover sets. Magic is the only thing keeping Hasbro afloat. I mean, I don't even know. What does Hasbro own? A lot. A wide variety of toy, game, and entertainment brands, including Transformers, G.I. Joe, Monopoly, Dungeons and Dragons, Nerf! My Little Pony, and Peppa Pig. Okay. It's a weird one. Where is it? What actually matters is the happiness of your consumers. The base for success. I mean, I agree. And I think Wizards kind of is seeing that now. That, like... I think they put too many, I guess theme sets. Like they did, we had Sherlock Holmes, then Wild West, then horror, and then what's it called? Fast and Furious. Like I think they did try and push too many theme sets at once. Like I wouldn't mind a set stylized like Aether Drift once every 3 years. But having 4 theme sets back to back in 1 year is way too much. And I think I think consumers are sending Wizards that message. I think consumers are sending Wizards that message now, since Tarkir Dragonstorm is like doing really well right now. The sheer stupidity of the Commander announcement. What are you talking about? Stupidity of the Commander announcements? What do you mean? What? We have edging in what is that? August. We have edging in August. So, Cox is saying that Final Fantasy is the best-selling set ever, and it's not even out until June. I smell cap. I smell cap. I don't believe that. I feel like he might just be saying that to, like, drive sales. Like, oh yeah, guys, it's totally a best-selling set, guys. Buy it, totally. I'm not lying to you. It's totally a best-selling set right now. Yeah, like, I'm not sure I believe that. Like, is he allowed to lie about that? Is he allowed to just say, oh yeah, this set is totally the highest selling set of all time? Can he do that and not get in, like, any kind of legal trouble? Can he do that? I actually don't know. I have no idea what, like, you're allowed to do that. Final Fantasy fans are known for spending $8,000 on random merch, though. Are they? I don't know. I wouldn't know. I don't play Final Fantasy. I play Kingdom Hearts. Is that close enough? Bro, don't tell me I got people in chat getting mad over gifts ungiven. That card is fine. Intuition is better. Square Enix's merch is crazy expensive. That is true. All them figures. All them figurines. How are we doing today, chat? We doing good on this fine Friday afternoon? We doing good? Like, it's funny because I've played Final Fantasy 1. That's it. I played Final Fantasy 1 on my phone in school, and that's it. That's the only Final Fantasy I played. But I've played every single Kingdom Hearts game. I know. Figure that out. We doing good today, chat? We hate Universe Beyond shills. Your favorite Kingdom Hearts game? Honestly, bro, call me crazy. I actually like Kingdom Hearts 1 the most. Like, I know people, like, I feel like Sora's, like, combat becomes way in, like, Kingdom Hearts' whole thing was the simplicity of the combat. I feel like in later installments, Sora does all, like, your inputs felt more synonymous with Sora's attacks in KH1 compared to, like, later installments. Like, in KH2, you're still just spamming X, and Sora does all these fucking, like, backflips and, like, crazy, ridiculous moves, and meanwhile, your inputs haven't changed. I actually don't like that. Like, you, as a player, feel way more disconnected with Sora's actions, since his actions are getting progressively more and more, like, ridiculous looking in later games, while your inputs aren't changing. Call me crazy for that. How I feel. It was simple and clean. Absolute cinema. Like, honestly, so there's a there's a mod for, I think, KH2, where it changes the combat to be, like, very similar to, like, Devil May Cry. I actually might like that a lot more if they ever do, like, change the gameplay style, because seeing Sora do all this wacky woohoo shenanigans when all you're doing is just kind of like pressing X the whole time feels like disconnected. Like, Kingdom Hearts is like, so DMC5 has this option you can turn on called, like, it's called, like, guided mode or something, where it's like Nero and Dante and V will do all these crazy combos. Meanwhile, all you have to do is just press the attack button. Like, you don't have to learn the button combinations to actually do the crazy combos. You can just turn on guided mode and they'll do it for you. Kingdom Hearts is that, but you are forced to have it on the entire time. JDX, I have no idea what... Nobody May Cry. Yeah, I haven't gotten to play it myself. I just know it's out there. Alright. I think it's been long enough, chat. Let's get into these Commander announcements. So, chat, a lot of things happened over the last 2 days. Brackets got updated. Brackets got a new graphic to make each bracket more clear on what you should do. We got 20 new game changers. 2 cards also taken off game changers, and 5 cards unbanned, which, as you can see, was a lot. We had Gifts Ungiven, Sway of the Stars, Braves Cabal Minion, Coalition Victory, and Panoptic Mirror. Let me get my best impression on here. Hello everyone, I'm Gavin Verhey with Wizards of the Coast, on behalf of the Commander Format panel. We have said we would do an evaluation of the format's ban list ever since the panel was announced last year. We've now finished the evaluation of that list, and today we are unbanning 5 cards. For those using brackets to define your decks, it should be noted that cards being unbanned will immediately move to the Game Changers list. If you're interested in more talk about brackets, you can check out today's update on those, including several new Game Changers in this article. When it came to reviewing the ban list and unbanning cards, we felt the cards we unbanned should meet some or all of these criteria. 1. Cards that have some fond memories associated with them. Alright. Nope. No. We do not tolerate Gavin Verhey slander here. Nah. Gavin Verhey is a jewel among WotC. We will not tolerate slander against him. SMH. Cards that can contribute to positive play patterns, enjoyable decks, and or splashing moments. Cards that don't create runaway games or negative play patterns. So they should meet. So every card they unban should meet some or all of these criteria. So I guess 2 out of 3 at least. So if it only has fond memories, but it doesn't contribute to positive play patterns, and does create runaway games, I guess it's not valid enough to unban. I guess. These are also cards we felt would be safe at the level of bracket 3 and above, where a game change generally sit. However, we also want to recognize that the idea of brackets and the changers list is still relatively new, and that not everybody will be using these systems. We want to be mindful with the cards we choose to unban. Over the rest of the year, we'll be curious to see how the adoption of brackets continues to go, and how these unbans affect players' games. That will tell us a lot about any future unbans we may make. Let us explain each of these 5 unbans. Gifts Ungiven! Intuition, but worse or better, depending on who you ask. Green and blue instant. Search your library for up to 4 cards with different names and reveal them. Target opponent chooses 2 of those cards. Put the chosen cards into your graveyard and the rest into your hand, then shuffle. So, what's noteworthy here is that the card says up to 4. So, what you can do is just grab 2 cards, and your opponent is forced to choose those 2 cards to put in your graveyard. So, this can be a 4-mana Double Entomb. Or it can be like a Tutor Factor of Fiction. Very good card. Also was in the, what was it? I think the Jace spellbook. I think it was, with the crazy frame. Where is it? Yeah! Signature Spellbook Jace. Bro, why did I stop doing these? These were cool. They did it twice and never again. It makes me sad. This is a beloved card with a great history. Many of you out there have enjoyed casting this card in all sorts of formats. We're excited to return it to Commander. Previous concern had been the nature of this as a power tutor, the time-intensive casting process, and the combos enabled by this card. He considered this within the structure of brackets and just regular pre-game conversations. If your deck is trying to infinite combo people with this, they should often help sort out if you are playing in the right environment. On the other hand, a fair Gifts Ungiven is very fun and akin to Fact or Fiction in the politics and interplay between players it can create. I agree. I've seen some people say it's like a stronger intuition because intuition, you grab 3 cards. Usually it doesn't actually matter what your opponent grabs, or what your opponent chooses, rather. Intuition, it's you search for 3 cards, reveal them, an opponent chooses 1, you put the chosen card into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. This usually is like the card your opponent chooses does not matter. Like it's usually this card alone usually assembles a combo, and it'll be like 2 combo pieces and a recursion piece. So it's like, oh, okay. I either give him the combo or I make him have to cast a spell to return the combo piece to his hand. Gifts. It's 1 more mana, but you get 4 cards instead, but 2 go into your hands as opposed to 1. Oh, the price did shoot up. Yes, it is true. The price did go up because of the Unbans. I think I have 2 copies sitting around somewhere. So I get to run them now. Yay. This card might not be safe. I mean, it's a buff for blue, but I mean, I think blue and CDH was already, like, really good to begin with. So, alright. I honestly, I think it's fine. Like, compared to Intuition, I don't think it's a big deal. Yeah, like blue is already at the top. I guess having like 2 copies of Intuition might be a little too much in CDH. I'm not sure. Let's see what happens. I also don't really follow CDH that closely nowadays. Like, I used to frequent CDH a lot. Nowadays, I'm just like, not so much because unfortunately, my area just doesn't really, or rather, my playgroup just stopped dabbling in it. So, I was like, alright, well, my playgroup stopped. I'm gonna stop too, I guess. Next up, Sway of the Stars. 8 blue, 10 mana for a mono blue card. Oh boy. Sorcery. Each player shovels their hand, graveyard, and permanents they own into their library, then draw 7 cards. Each player's life total becomes 7. A 10 mana way to reset the game, akin to Whirlfire, which was previously unbanned in Commander, to little fanfare or play. There are some players who enjoy this effect. It is an impactful card, but not very powerful. There are plenty of other spells that cost 8 or more mana that have a far higher impact than Sway. Our guess is this will see little play, but the people who enjoy cards like these will now be able to play another one. So, I have a video where I actually went over the likelihood of them unbanning cards. I'll probably go over it at some point in the stream. I think I said they wouldn't unban Sway because it's harder to actually win the game with it. Then again, I think the reasons I thought they wouldn't unban cards was different compared to what they highlighted here with like the 3 criteria with this. It is just a blue Whirlfire. Like, it's 10 mana, just remove everything and set everyone's life to something. It essentially, it's like, it's if sudden death was a card, you would get Sway of the Stars, because it puts everyone back to like nothing. But now you all have 7 life as opposed to for what is it? 40. Brain fart. Unban Oko. Oko's not banned. What do you mean? It's not even a game changer. Spam of Stars. It's probably fine. Wrong format. I mean, honestly, at this point, they should unban Oko in Modern. You know why? Because it's funny. That's why. Unban Oko in Modern because it is funny. That's why. Next up, Braze Cabal Minion. Oh boy. This one might be kind of controversial, honestly. I'm very interested to see how this one turns out. Braze Cabal Minion, 2 black, 2/2 for a legendary human minion creature. Think of each player's upkeep, that player sacks an artifact, creature, or land. Land is the scary part there. This card is a beloved character, and a card many are nostalgic for. When played as one of your 99 cards or later in the game, is a totally reasonable effect with an appropriate impact on the game. The most frustrating Braze games are when it's put out extremely quickly and people feel locked under it. However, as little as a single removal spell can really set that entire plan back, as commander decks have become more efficient with more target removal spells, and players have gotten better at identifying commanders that they don't want to play against and having pre-game conversations. So that gives us the confidence to bring back Braids. A lot has changed since Braids was banned in 2009. We mostly believe people will know what they're signing up for in a game with Braids as a commander and as a card in 99. It is reasonable and acceptable. Here's the thing, right? Turgrid exists. Is it? Well, okay, chat. Is Turgrid stronger or weaker than Braids? Like, actually, do you think Turgrid is stronger or weaker than Braids? I'll make a poll, actually. I'll make a poll. I'm actually very curious what chat thinks. Like, Turgrid is, I'll pull it up just so chat knows. So Turgrid, there's also a backside. Just ignore this. Don't want to cast this. Turgrid is 5 mana, 3 black for a 4/5 Menache God creature. Whenever an opponent sacks a non-token permanent or discards a permanent card, you may put that card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. So Turgrid is just a, like, theft machine. So I guess Turgrid is, like, the payoff. Braids is the engine. So it's a question of, do you think an engine or a payoff is stronger in the command zone? Turgrid is strong because you get to control the sack permanent. Meanwhile, Braids is just small box on a creature. Braids still has weaker late game. Braids is more powerful in returns, but in general, Turgrid is stronger. The two together would go crazy. I agree. Like, so I think. So okay, so I'll tell you a story, actually. I'll tell you a story. So my playgroup, we had someone build a Turgrid deck, right? If you've ever played against Turgrid, you will know that Turgrid is absolutely a game warping card. Like, it literally, it's you have to kill Turgrid on sight and never allow a Turgrid player to stick Turgrid or they win. So what happened was, my friend who built that deck had to take it apart because every time it was either Turgrid completely snowballs and just takes over the game, or the Turgrid player never gets to play the game at all. So, I feel like Braids kind of does the same thing nowadays. Also, removal has just gotten way better. Like, people are playing more and more cheap removal than ever. Compared to, like, when Braids was legal. So, I think it's easier than ever to just, like, okay, I'm gonna turn 1 swamp, turn 2 swamp ritual, cast Braids, and then someone just casts a bolt and goes, oh. Okay. Dies to shock. Dies to shock, yes. It does in fact die to shock. Also dies to Grape Shot Storm count 2. Braids, honestly, I think Braids is fine. Compared to, I mean, honestly, I'm surprised Braids got unbanned before Turgid got banned, to be honest. I really thought Turgid was gonna get banned at one point for like the same reasons as like Iona or something. That didn't happen, obviously. Moving on. Coalition Victory. Honestly, I don't think I even need to cover this one, but I will. 3 in Wooburg, 8 mana sorcery. You win the game if you control a land of each basic land type and a creature of each color. So 2 Triomes, and you're a 5-color commander, and you win the game for 8 mana. Too strong. Ban it. This card engendered a great deal of discussion. A lot of it boils down to how impactful and how much of an all-included it is. In a deck with a 5-color commander, it essentially reads, you win the game if you control your commander. Wow. That is not the most satisfying end to a game, and it does begin to become an all-include many decks. Is that an appropriate card to exist, chat? However, it can easily be interacted with. A single removal spell in response to your 5-color commander means you spend 8 mana to do nothing. Womp womp tier. You also need to untap with commander in 8 mana. And there are many expensive spells that will do something akin to ending the game in a 5-color deck if you resolve them. Additionally, for those engaging with the bracket system, it is within the time frame of where we expect an I-win combo to fall. Yeah? Like, I think you can just cast, Ruinous Ultimatum and also just win the game from there. Ruinous... Okay, alright, thanks you. 7 mana, blow up everything you don't own. Or you don't control, rather. Casting this probably ends the game. It's a dumb card. Either instantly wins the game or does stone cold nothing. Yeah. Hence why it's unbanned. It's not powerful. It's just dumb. Like, so I play, Progenitus, right? And one of my favorite lines in that deck is you cast, Emergent Ultimatum. You search for 3 mono-colored cards with names and exile them. An opponent chooses one of those cards. You shuffle the chosen card back in, and you cast the other 2 for free. So if Progenitus, the king, is in your command zone, what I do is I tutor for Omniscience, Singing Study, you know, draw 10, lose 10, and Majestic Genesis. Flip top 10, put all permanents into play. So, you cast Emergent Ultimatum, and it's just like, okay, someone at this table. Do I get 20 cards worth of value? Or do I get 10 cards worth of value, but you allow me to cast spells for free forever? And that's funny, and that probably does end the game for less mana, actually, compared to Victory. I'm gonna cast Progenitus for Ultimatum. For this, I do. Like, the general consensus I've seen with this card is that it'll be funny for, like, 2 months, maybe 3. And then this card will never see the light of day again. Because it's fun, like, no more than 3 times. Okay. You could also just throw a cool consultation. Okay, yes. Yes, you could just do that and win the game as well. Yes. For way less mana. But the brackets, the brackets, chat, the brackets. Alright, finally? Okay, finally. We have Panoptic Mirror, oh boy. 5 mana artifact, Imprint X. You may exile an instant or sorcery card with mana value X in your hand from the game. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may copy an imprinted instant or sorcery card and play the copy without paying its mana cost. So if you imprint an extra turn spell, you just win the game. Because every one of your upkeeps, you get a copy of Time Warp. Okay. I think it's fine. The issue is that it's like a combo. One small problem. There's way more efficient combos you can do nowadays that don't require you to cast this and then imprint Time Warp and also have the card survive a whole turn cycle. And also don't cost 10 mana. So... You're just sorry. I personally have been a Panoptic Mirror enjoyer since it was originally printed back in Darksteel. The promise of using a cool spell turn after turn is so fun. That's still true today. A value mirror is a blast. There are 2 problems with it. Oh boy. The first is imprinting an extra turn spell. Womp womp tier. The game is over immediately. The second is imprinting something extremely repetitive, such as a board sweeper, that the game cannot move forward. The latter is something to be a lot less worried about in 2025. There are so many instant artifacts in decks that even if you're under a board lock, can get you out of it. The first one is well addressed by bracketed play, through the restrictions on combos, and a lower overall density of extra turn effects, and regardless of bracket system, many tables have a good idea of whether they enjoy infinite combos appearing in their games, and if that's something they want players to do in their decks. Finally, it does take a full turn and a large mana investment, and people have several windows to respond to it in. They can kill it before you untap, in response to the ability, or after the ability resolves and your opponent is down a card. Imagine an imprinted Armageddon on this absolute cinema. Oh my god. Someone said, Dance of Calamity. And then you fuck up and you keep going over 13 every turn. So you spent 13 mana to do nothing? Yes. Yes. I fucking love gambling. Dude, imagine you imprint this under Mirror. Shuffle your library. As many times as you choose, you may exile top card of your library. If the total main value of the cards exile weighs 13 or less, you may cast any number of spells from among those cards without paying the mana costs. No, guys, I'm at 11 right now, right? I'm at 11? Nah, I'll totally hit a 2-drop off the top of my library. Flips the top card. It's like 9 mana. Do nothing. Oh my god, dude. I gotta do that, actually. I gotta do that. I get to play and fail at blackjack every turn. That's so good. That's so good. God, like, okay, sure, you get, not this thing, I don't need to say more, get out of here. Like, you can imprint extra turn spells, that's like the most boring, cringe use of this card ever. Wow, you're so clever for doing that. I want to see, like, absolute cinema plays. Imprint Armageddon every turn, yes. Imprint Dance of Calamity, bro. Imprint Cruel Ultimatum under this thing. every turn, I make one opponent sack a creature, discard 3 cards, and lose 5 life. And then I return a creature card from my graveyard to my hand, draw 3 cards, and gain 5 life. Imprint cast spell. That doesn't work. That's not okay. Yeah, you can do that. You probably shouldn't, but you can. I ain't gonna stop you. Like, dude, always unbans are fine. Gifts ungiven might be scary in CDH. I'm not really sure. Imprint the first protection. Oh yeah. Wait, how does that even work? Wait a minute. Wait. Until your next turn, your life total can't change, and you gain protection from everything. All permanents you control phase out. Until your next turn. So every one of your upkeeps, you just phase out of existence. Which is exactly what the fairy did. Have no lands then. But, I mean, you also can't be hurt ever again. Which is, like, the fairy's whole thing. Bro, if you, like, play a blue-white deck, and you play, like, a bunch of fairies, and you actually imprint, this on the mirror, that actually is, like, an absolute cinema play. Because you just cease to exist forever. That kind of is, like, a Teferi move. I don't know, chat. Like, okay, so far, these unbans, how we feel? I'll make a poll for chat to respond to. Thanks on by, Cameron. Like, so far, these unbans feel fine to me, honestly. Like, they're all pretty inoffensive. The only one here that might be an issue, I think, is, gifts and CDH. And casual, I think it's fine. No one's gonna care. These were a long time coming. True. I agree. Like, Sway of the Stars. Okay. Whirlfire is not this, like, mono red staple now. You don't see everyone jamming in Whirlfire because it's, Whirlfire is so powerful, bro. Every red deck needs it. Like, that's not happening. I will say, Whirlfire actually is, like, really expensive nowadays. Oh, no, it went down. It's 20 bucks. It was at 30 at one point. It went down, though. I'm not sure why. Like, Sway of Stars is fine. Braids. She's just like a side grade to Turgrid, I think. And everyone hates Turgrid, so it's fine. Victory is just a bad card, straight up. There's no reason to play it except for the, you know, the bucket list. Mirror. It's so much mana. It's so much mana. 5 to cast, do nothing, then pay even more mana and imprint something. If I made a Blim Comedic Genius deck, I put Whirlfire in it to be a Comedic Genius. Absolute cinema. I feel like Braids Arisen Nightmare is better than OG anyways. Honestly, it probably is. Because Braids Arisen Nightmare isn't a must remove. Your insect may sack an artifact or enchantment, land, or planeswalker. If you do, each opponent may sack a permanent of their choice that shares a card type with it. Each opponent who doesn't, that player loses 2 life if you draw a card. Yeah, like, great. I kind of agree. Like, she's a good draw engine in the command zone, and because players aren't forced to sack lands, she's like way less of a threat in the zone. Fine. Like, I think new Braids is not gonna do anything, honestly. only somewhat scary card I think is Gifts. Because now Blue and CDH basically has 2 copies of Intuition, which might be really scary. From what I know, Rog Sai is kind of like dominant right now because like Rog Sai is just like Grixis turbo combo. And because every deck lost Lotus and Mana Crypt, the weight that Rograg pulls with like Rograk's package of cards is 4 now. Then again, I don't even does Rog Sai even play Intuition in that deck? They don't, right? Or do they? I don't even know. Does Rog Sai play Intuition? I have no idea. I guess I'm afraid of Gifts making Rog Sai tier 0. I wouldn't know though. I think the Unbans are fine, honestly. Like, they're all pretty safe bets. I could have swore that Emrakul was gonna get unbanned. Like, I could have swore she was gonna come off, but she didn't. I think Gavin discusses why she didn't in the article. We'll get to that. But, dude, I could have swore 15-man Emrakul would come off. Like, I feel like she does nothing but be a finisher for Eldrazi decks. I'm not gonna lie. Like, oh, you can cheat her out. Okay. Stick attack. You annihilate 6 someone. That's not really that good of a play. Like, okay, it does knock someone back to a Stone Age. But that doesn't help you win the game. Like, there's plays you can make, that help you win, and there's plays you can make to make one person lose. I feel like sneak attacking Emrakul just makes one person lose, which is always worse than just, like, casting Emrakul. Okay, I mean, it's not really fair, because sneak attack is like 5 mana compared to 15, but like, you're supposed to cast her. The entire reason you cast Emrakul is for the reason you are supposed to cast Eldrazi. Like, I don't understand why people say, oh, you're supposed to cheat Eldrazi out. Like, no. They have cast triggers for a reason, because you're supposed to cast them. Like, I know it was like, oh, I'll use Sneak Attack to cheat an Emrakul and get a 1/1 Annihilate trigger. Okay. Yes. Yeah. I don't know, chat. Maybe I'm tweaking for that. Maybe I'm tweaking on that one. Alright. These cards have not been legal in Commander for a long time, originally being banned between 2005 and 2009, and a lot has changed in both Magic and Commander since. We are not opposed to banning them again at some point in the future if they still prove problematic. However, these feel in line with our expectations and are okay to try, given where the format is today. I know many of you out there will be excited to try them, and I look forward to reading of what you will come up with. These changes are effective immediately in the tabletop and will be reflected in Modo later today. On Dockside, Jewel Lotus and Mana Crypt. Ooh. What got here, chat? We would be plugging our ears if we did not acknowledge elements in the room when it comes to this series of unbans. The September bans of Dockside, Lotus, and Crypt. Many players out there probably immediately scrolled down this long article as quickly as they could to discover the fates of these cards. We did talk about these cards and are not unbanning them at this time. Opinions from the Commander format panel varied. Some believe Commander is more fun without them. Others would like more time to see how the Commander bracket system is adopted before doing anything here, and others felt it's too soon to do anything with these cards. There were a few people who were open to doing something with Jewel Lotus now, but that was not the majority opinion. The overwhelming majority of the panel did not want to do anything with any of these cards at this time. I will be transparent and say that I believe if any of these are ever to return, the most likely one is Jeweled Lotus due to its one-shot nature, iconic feel, and ability to help support high mana value commanders. I want to be clear, this is not me saying that will ever happen, but that was one among the panel with the most traction. I know many of you love these cards. Many of you are also glad you no longer have to play with cards. There's always that kind of push and pull with powerful and potentially ban-worthy cards in Commander. I appreciate there are many people in both camps, and that no matter what happens with these cards, somebody will feel like they didn't get the result they wanted. However, we wanted to talk about the cards here honestly, and what was said internally for transparency. These cards will be something I'm sure we'll talk about. These cards will be something I'm sure we'll talk about next year, but for this year, the book is closed on these 3 cards. Keep Dockside banned, I agree. Like, in my opinion, the 2 biggest sins in Magic Design are free spells and fast mana. This entire game revolves and works around the mana system, alright? Like, the whole point of this game is being able to gauge what your opponents can do based on the amount of mana they have. Free spells throw that concept out the window, because free spells are free. There's no way to gauge whether or not your opponent has them. Fast mana kind of does the same thing, because fast mana allows you to misrepresent how much mana you really have. But if I had to choose between one or the other to keep, I would choose free spells every single time. Because free spells can be used to keep problems in check. Free spells can be used as a sort of police force to keep problematic cards and problematic strategies on a leash. Fast mana is never ever used responsibly. Fast mana is always used to break things. Fast mana is never used to keep things in check. And Dockside, Lotus, and Crypt are all fast mana. I will say, Jeweled Lotus and Crypt being banned hurt me too. So, I play Cosmic CDH, or played Cosmic CDH. You know which one, the good one. Great Distortion. You could consistently cast Cosmic on turn 3 in CDH. Banning of Jeweled Lotus and Crypt, I thought, okay, well, maybe I can be okay with casting Cosmic on turn 4 now. You can't. Like, the banning of Lotus and Crypt pretty much killed this deck for me, which makes me sad. Like, this deck's whole thing was you either cast Cosmic on turn 3 or you're casting Sax pieces. Like, the deck played pretty much exactly like Tron in Modern, where it's just like mulligan aggressively, try and get a bunch of fast mana, and you cast these like massive tempo swing bombs on as early as like turn 3, turn 4. Like, the deck was very fun because it didn't play like any other CDH deck out there. The deck was so fun to play, but Jeweled Lotus and Crypt getting banned pretty much killed the deck for me, which made me very sad. So please don't think that I'm just saying like, yeah, you fast mana players got what you deserve. Like, no, it did hurt me too, like, actually. The people that like playing one, you should play all the cards together. Bracket tilt a bunch, I agree. We still have Thoracle and Commander. I mean, yeah, but Thoracle isn't fast mana. Like, it's just a combo piece. I agree. I think Thoracle probably should be given some kind of, like, stamp on it. Whether that's, like, make it a game changer or outright ban it, I'm not sure. But I do think Thoracle is a, like, really just, like... It's not even, like, the fact that it's powerful for me. It's more so the fact that it's just, like, de facto best thing to play I mean, it certainly is more powerful too. Like, before Thoracle, we had Labman. You had to land Labman on the board and then also have a way to draw a card at the same time to win the same turn. Otherwise, you had to land Labman, then pass, and survive a whole turn cycle. Thoracle was just you win. So it's like... Dockside requires a board state to be in your favor for order. Dockside requires a board state to be in your favor in order to be good. Not really. Like, everyone plays mana rocks. It's not hard for Dockside to make like 5 treasure. And also, it was one of those things where it's like, the best thing you can play to beat an opponent's Dockside is your own Dockside. Because Dockside makes treasures if your opponents have treasure too. Like, if your opponent casts a Dockside and makes 5 treasure, your Dockside now makes 10 treasure. Because it counts your opponent's treasures too. And that's like, that's not really a healthy design I want. Like, if the best thing I can play to beat a card is my own version of said card, that's like kind of not great. I'm broke, so I've never played Crypt or Jewel Lotus. I mean, CDH encourages proxying a lot. Like, CDH players are very, like, friendly towards the idea of you proxying decks. So, if CDH is something you want to get into, please feel free to proxy out decks and try things out. Assuming you have a group who would want to do that. Like, I'd say these cards probably shouldn't get unbanned ever, honestly. Dockside the least. Like, Dockside, if I had to choose one of these 3 to never get unbanned ever, I would absolutely say Dockside. Like, CDH players were not complaining about Dockside. It was Lotus and Crypt they complained about. No one was being like, oh my god, they banned Dockside, what the hell? Like, no, that wasn't a thing that was happening. It was only the Lotus and the Crypt that people hated seeing banned. So, that should tell you all you need to know. Future bans. Here we go, chat. Commander has been through a lot since last September. It's been a time with a change of hands, a new panel being formed, and lots of uncertainty around what will remain on the banned list. After this appraisal of the banned card list and changes, we'd like to take some time to just let things sit. For everybody to exhale after waiting on this announcement and have a bit more relaxed time in the Commander news world. Additionally, we'd love to give more time for the Commander bracket system to develop, which will help inform how much moving cards off of the banned list and onto the game changers list does for how often and where those cards show up. So, we are committing no further changes to the banned list for the rest of this year. Starting next year, we can touch the ban list again, and at more regular intervals, so not just one ban window a year. Oh, interesting. But we want to hold off for the rest of this year. The only exception will be what I am calling the Nadu contingency, which is if a new or unbanned card begins to become generally reviled and people just want it gone as soon as possible. We can break that seal and act earlier. However, I'm hopeful we do not need to do this, as it would need to be a fairly extreme circumstance. Reviled! The Nadu contingency! As has often been stressed to me, Commander moves slowly. It's fine to take our time and let everything settle. Stability is a core tenet of Commander's philosophy. Recently, it hasn't always felt that way. Let's get back to that stability again. If you're interested in a review of cards on the banned list, we've included a summary below. This has been Gavin Bearhay on behalf of the entire Commander format panel. There's everyone there. Josh Lee Kwai, Rachel Weeks, Also, they're aware not it was a huge mistake. Yeah, dude, it's fucking. Oh my god. Yeah, dude, it's. It's pretty funny. God, like the fact that it's named after Nadu. Notice how Nadu wasn't mentioned with the dark side fast mana section. I mean, yeah, it's not fast mana. Of course. Despite being banned at the same time. I mean, what? I think Nadu was banned for a separate reason, right? Didn't they say that in the article at the time? I think. Appendix ban list review. First, the list of cards that don't need explanation because they are classic powerful or don't make sense commander. And that's the Power 9, Lotus Moxes, Channel, Vault, yeah. No, Caracas! Ugh. The dude, where's my car? God. Drake? Where's the door hole? Alright, chat. So, okay, real quick. I actually, I did a video, like, 6 months ago at the Unbanned announcement where I asked what, the likelihood of each card being banned was. I'm actually very curious to see what I said for the cards that did get unbanned. I want to see what I said back then. This was made 6 months ago. I actually want to see what I said back then to the cards being unbanned. Was first Wave of Stars. So that's gonna have to be a 0 chance for me. Sway of Stars. What even is this? What? I don't even know what. 10 mana blue sorcery. Wow. Each player shuffles their hand, graveyard, and all permanents, including lands, they own into their library. They own, not control. Oh, because it's into their library, right. And then draw 7 cards. Each player's left total becomes 7. Is this not just, like, blue Whirlfire? What? I mean, Whirlfire's unbanned, and that thing's been fine. I can't see... Okay, so what's the difference between this and Whirlfire, right? Your life is 7 instead of 1. Yep. Everyone gets a full grip of 7 cards. Yep. Otherwise, the battlefield still gets reduced to 0. I guess you do shuffle things in as opposed to exiling them. So it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. A little different that way, but I mean, it's 10 mana. This thing seems too similar to Whirlfire to not unban. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's in 50-50. It's not exactly a finisher, but it's not exactly like an unhealthy bad card either, I don't think. Panoptic Mirror. Okay, wait. I don't even know what did I say for like my base for unbanning cards then? Also know that there's likely no chance that some of these cards get unbanned despite me wanting to play with some of them. So, real quick, let's just get the obvious ones out of the way. Okay, now, did I say why I thought some things wouldn't get unbanned or why some things would? Did I say that? There's a lot of cards on the ban list right now that a lot of people say that should have been unbanned a long time ago, and there's also some things on here that probably have absolutely no chance of getting unbanned. And then there's also probably some in-betweens. So, what's the best way to figure out what cards are most likely to get unbanned? Why, cringe. With the tier list? God, cringe. I can't believe you bounced, man. Goofy edits. Get out of here. Okay, Mirror. I didn't explain it. So, I probably should have said at a time why I didn't like, or why I thought some things would get unbanned. I didn't. Womp womp tier. I don't even know what this is. Panoptic Mirror is 5 mana for an artifact. It has imprint for X. You may pay X and tap it. You remove an instant or sorcery card mana value X. Get a load of this guy. Game. Get your upkeep. Goofy pink room. Freddy Fazbear's ass streamer without paying its mana cost. So the obvious combo here is you pay 5, cast it. You pay, I don't know, roughly 5, and imprint an extra turn spell onto it. And then from there, you just have infinite turns? Yes. But I mean, that's a total of 10 mana to do that in one turn. It also, like, you get a whole turn cycle to even win with it because it's an upkeep trigger. So you have to pay 5, exile an extra turn spell, and then pass around with no one being able to remove it if you didn't even win. There's so much more efficient stuff nowadays that I think this is fine, honestly. Like, this is not even that good nowadays by today's terms. Like, if your whole thing is, oh, yes, I'm running Panoptic Mirror to take infinite turns. Like, is that even that good? No, nowadays? It's not. I don't think it is. No. I'm gonna say likely, because you can totally use this in a fun way and exile, like, ultimatum under it. I got one right! Okay, I'm gonna say if I put it in likely or higher, I got it right. 50 or less is not correct. Not guaranteed, but I think it's a decent chance it gets unbanned, honestly. Moving on to limited. Let's go. Okay, what's next? Not prime time. Fuck no. Do not unban that thing. Oh my god. Next is, what is it? Where is it? No, it's here. Nightmare. Tanker. Unban Tanker, chat. My god. This far in, really? Okay, gifts. Gifts Ungiven. 4 mana instant, I believe? Yep, 4 mana instant. Search your library for up to 4 cards with different names and reveal them. Target opponent chooses 2 of those cards. Put the chosen cards into your graveyard and the rest into your hand, and then shuffle. Intuition's not banned, and that thing's on a reserve list. Is Intuition an instant or sorcery? It's an instant, right? It's an instant. So this is just pay 1 more mana, add 1 more card to the mix. I guess you can also just choose to only grab 2 cards and then you entomb them both. Like it's not even that good. I know that everyone looks at this and says, "Oh my god, no, combo enabler." Like, bro, I don't really care. And I don't think Wizards would care either. Like, this thing's honestly seems like a 50-50 to me. No, like I put it higher. No, look at this. Put it higher, Batsman. Put it higher. Like, really good blue tutor. This thing seems like, honestly, like really possible to unban, dude. Call me, maybe I'm crazy for saying that. Not gonna do it. Considering the fact that I've played CDH and I know like the competitive uses of this card, I'm putting in likely. Yeah! I'm probably gonna get hate for that. Let's go! I did get it right. Let's go. Oh my god, yes. Okay, what is that? 2 out of 3 so far I got correct? What's next? Emrakul. Okay, I mean, she didn't get unbanned. I'll go back to her. Braids. Okay. Darkside. Just got banned. No. Braids Cabal minion. 2 black for a legendary human minion creature. 2/2. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player sacks an artifact, creature, or land. So, Braids' main issue is as a commander. Yeah? In mono black at 4 mana, it is very easy to power her out by like turn 2, and in which case, if no one can remove her, the game's just over already. Because if she comes out on like turn 2, everyone's just kind of forced to sack lands, which at that point means that you can't ever really get ahead on mana, and therefore you just lose. Because if you can't get mana to remove Braids, the game's just over. Now you might say, well, the Braids player. You might say, well, the Braids player has to sack stuff too. But you are the Braids player. True. You can build around her. You can find ways to be able to deal with the upkeep sack effect. If your opponents don't have lands and can't keep lands, the game's over. It's over. True. You can't beat Braids at that point. Now, I will say, if the Braids player powers her out with fast mana, like a Dark Ritual or whatever, and then she dies immediately, that's kind of backbreaking. That's cringe. That's cringe. Like, that's not good. Lowest Petal Dark Ritual, and you turn 1 her, and then someone says Force of Will, you're in like a really bad spot. You lose on the play. You lose. She's not unbeatable, but I think she's just a little too hard to beat to be considered on the radar for unbanning. Hush! You don't see this. You don't see that. No. Actually, I think Unluck is probably a pretty good place, to be honest. No, Bass. Oh my god. I don't think she's extreme because she's not unbeatable. She's just very hard to beat. Like, putting her next to Prophet Krufix feels very correct to me. Moving on to Coalition Victory. 3 white, blue, black. I put Braids next to Prophet Krufix and... What the hell? What was I thinking, bro? I put Braids next to Engine and Prophet Krufix? What the hell? What was I thinking? Red, green for a sorcery, 8 mana total. You win the game if you control a land of each basic land type and a creature of each color. If you have 5 shock lands and a Shadow of Alara in play, and you cast this, you win the game. It costs 8 mana. You gotta have basic land types. I think it'd honestly be like even more unbannable if it specified basic lands of each land type. Like, I mean, yeah, obviously a basic forest, basic mountain, etc. I think it wouldn't even be banned nowadays, because then you have to be playing enough basics and enough ways to fetch basics in your deck for this to even work. The fact that it works with like your shock lands and now your triumphs nowadays, right? I think that's the main issue the RC had with it. But then again, you also have to have your commander on the field. And oh, by the way, if they cast this, you can just blow up their 5-color commander in response, and now it doesn't work. I'm gonna say likely. Yeah! Likely. It's 8 mana. Let's go! Should win the game, or at least come close to doing so. And there's ways to beat this. Any sort of like instant speed removal spell for their 5-color source should do it. Unless they went ahead and actually like went and got multiple 5-color cards to do that, in which case they probably spent like 10 mana prior to. How do they know? 2 Wooburg spells. Almost like those 3 cards are really easy to unban. Wow, who'd have guessed? I'm not sure what the why is Braids here? Why is Braids here? What was I thinking? I put Sway at the top of 50-50, so it's like half a point. I got 3.5 out of 5 right. Okay, that's good. I'll take it. I'll take it. It is so unbannable, dude. It's so unbannable. And it's a recall. 1 blue. Okay. Emrakul. I want to skip to Emrakul in the article too, because I remember 2 broken either. I'm gonna put her in extremely unlikely. Emrakul. All right. 15 mana Emrakul. He's so confident. He's so confident, bro. Miss Eldrazi. When you cast her, take an extra turn. Flying, trample, 15-15. Protection from colored spells, and not permanents, right? It's only spells, I believe, right? Yes, and then she's got another 6, and if she goes in your graveyard, she gets shuffled back in, so you can't reanimate her. Bro, let me tell you now, if anything on this list is gonna get unbanned, anything at all, it's gonna be Emrakul. It's gonna be Emrakul. I would bet so much money. Oh no! The next year, Emrakul gets unbanned. Oh no! Absolutely no way she doesn't, dude. The only thing she would do is give Eldrazi decks a finisher. True. And that's it. True. No one would play her outside of Eldrazi. True. No one. None. 15 mana is a lot. Alright? Even for some of these like big mana decks. Bro, I'm telling you. If anything on this list is gonna get unbanned, it's gonna be Emrakul. Because she has no, like, weird stipulations about her other than the fact that she just does a lot of damage and blows up one person's board for 15 mana. You can't cheat her out, really. I mean, I guess you can with, like, Quicksilver Amulet, but then you don't get the extra turn. Which is like half the reason to even play her. True. Bro, I agree. Bet so much money. I would bet so much money that Emrakul gets unbanned, dude. There's no way she doesn't. There is no way Emrakul does not get unbanned. There's yeah, man. This guy just does not know what he's talking about. This guy's an idiot. Don't watch him, guys. As you can see, this guy clearly knows nothing about what he's talking about. I don't know who this guy is. Don't watch him. Don't watch him, guys. He'll bet so much money that Emrakul will get unbanned next year. Ah, wow. He'll bet so much money, guys. Oh boy. Hope that guy's bank account's doing okay. Hope that guy's bank account's doing okay. God. I still believe Emrakul should have gotten unbanned. I still believe Emrakul should have gotten unbanned. I know. Put the clown nose and the clown wig on me with post editing bounce man. Put it on me. Go ahead. Yeah. Emrakul's gonna get unbanned. Emrakul's gonna get unbanned, guys. He'll bet so much money. Clown nose, clown wig. Put it on there. Put it on there. Put it on there, bounce man. I still got 3 of them right. 3.5 of them right. What did I say for the rest of them? What's the full list look like? Oh wait, what? I put biorhythm and extremely likely? What? How? Green got burn spells. Green got burn spells back in the day, but nowadays not so much. But I guess they got biorhythm. But it's okay because it cares about creatures, I guess. I don't think it's as likely as Emrakul, but I do think it probably is one of the highest cards here. Balance. I put biorhythm in extremely likely. How? How the fuck? How did I put biorhythm over Coalition Victory? How did I do that? Oh my god. What else is here, chat? Titan and Primordial in 50-50. I mean, I think there was a chance that these two got unbanned. They didn't, thank God. Upheaval. They did not unban, thank God. Dogmoss Bargain, they might unban. I don't know. And the rest of these are probably never gonna get unbanned ever. Iona might get unbanned. Thundering Titan might get unbanned. I don't know. Let's see what Gavin thinks about the other cards being banned. Balance. 1 white sorcery. Each player chooses a number of lands they control equal to the number of lands controlled by the player who controls the fewest. Then sacks the rest. Players discard cards and sack creatures the same way. This card massively strips resources out of the game, providing mass land denial, hand disruption, and a board sweep all in one. Balance is especially brutal in decks that are all about mana rocks, which are already strong. I think this is unlikely to return. Okay. Fine. Oh, wait, my music. Biorhythm. We discussed this card a great deal. Hey! So I wasn't super wrong then. We ultimately... Oh, wait, hang on. I'm on the wrong thing. We ultimately decide not to unban it. It can go in any green deck, requires very little setup to cast, and really disproportionately impacts the player to your right. Compared to Coalition Victory, which only goes in 5-card decks, and requires you to control 5 colors worth of permanents, it is a bit much. It could potentially come off someday, but we're leaving it for now. Emrakul. Alright, Gavin. Why is she not free? Why is she not free, Gavin? Tell me. Emrakul is a powerhouse. Whether cast or cheated onto the battlefield, how? How are you cheating her? As a colorless card that any deck can play, it was the de facto top end in a ton of decks while legal and saw a lot more play than was fun. It's possible, as the bracket system grows and takes off, that it may be more tolerable at bracket 3 and above, but for the moment, we've elected to leave it on the ban list and see how these other changes go. So what I'm hearing is that next year for sure, chat. What I'm hearing is that next year she'll get, okay, alright, next year for sure. Not unbanned this time, next year for sure. Where's your stimulus package for the Emrakul prediction? I don't know what you're talking about. That wasn't me, that was somebody else. I didn't say that. I feel like fucking Silk Song hypers now. Oh man, no Silk Song this direct? Next direct for sure. It's dude, dude, it has to happen. It has to happen. There's no way she doesn't get unbanned. There's no way, dude. Oh, people might cheat her out. How? That's a strong claim to make as you got your last prediction horribly wrong. Extremely likely. Extremely likely. Next year for sure, chat. Oh my god. Arayo. Flip her, and it's what is it? A part of the Cataxias. This card is incredibly unfun when flipped early, and structuring your deck to do that on the second or even first turn is fairly easy. Combining it with Arcane Laboratory can end the game, but even without that, it's an oppressive force. It's not that beloved or fun, and not something we're eager to unban this time. I agree. Fast Bond, I don't got it. Flash, just CDH, yeah. Golos! When Golos enters, search your library for a land card. Any land card, put into play, tap, and shuffle. Pay 2 in Wooburg, exile top the cards in your library. You may play all of them this turn without paying the mana costs. 5 to cast, 3/5. A scout, for what that's worth. Golos is an incredibly powerful 5-card option that both finds any land, ensuring that even if dead, you likely had enough mana to recast it next turn. And has an activated ability that can be an extremely strong spell for all that mana. It really homogenized games and was a de facto best cleaner option for many decks. Perhaps it's an acceptable card in higher brackets, but it's not something we want to touch today. Chat, I proxied a Golo CDH deck like the week before it got banned. I was very sad. It was a CDH Lands Matter deck. Honestly, dude, okay. I agree, Golos was a very, like, homogeneous commander, and most, like, 5-color value piles did just run Golos for the ability. But there was a small subsection of players who played Golos because he actually tutors 4 non-basics. WotC, y'all really need to make a 5-color Lands Matter commander, like actually, because a lot of us played Golos for that reason. Right now, there's nothing. Right now, there legit is nothing for like a 5-color Lands Matter commander. We have Omnath, but that's like the 4-color one, and that doesn't count. No. I'm not crazy, right? There's not a 5-color Lands Matter commander. A Tog, child. There's nothing here, right? I'm not crazy. Yeah, no. It's all like slivers and dragons and like jank. Slivers, dragons, and jank. That's 5-card commanders for you. Slivers, dragons, and jank. Ugh. Bristlebrand. Okay. I'm a little scared of this one. 4 black, 8 mana for a 7/7 flying lifelink demon creature. Pay 7 life. Draw 7 cards. Cheating out a Bristlebrand and drawing an absurd number of cards was an incredibly powerful thing to do during the 1-month window where it was legal, leading to quick action. Once in play, you tend to draw either 28 or 35 cards immediately. The game often ends that turn. I can imagine a world in which Bristlebrand returns for high bracket players to enjoy, but I would say it is more likely than not Bristlebrand permanently remains on the ban list. Okay. Whoa. Oh. Thank God. Hull Breacher. Never. Never. Flash. If an opponent would draw a card, except the first one they draw in the draw steps, instead you create a treasure token. This is an incredibly unfun card that stifled a popular part commander, spiked the popularity of wheel effects, and made an outrageous number of treasure tokens. There is a theoretical rejiggering of brackets where you can tell it's acceptable, but I wouldn't expect it, and certainly not with the brackets as they are now. Why is Hull Breacher banned but not Notion Thief? A few reasons. So, Notion Thief is 2 blue-black. So it's 4 mana, not 3. You also had to be in blue-black, but that's not really an issue because Opus Thief was a blue-black. I think it was Sans Green, actually. Opus Thief was a Sans Green deck. So you could play both. And actually, Hull Breacher was arguably stronger than Notion Thief because it's 3 mana, not 4. The difference between 3 and 4 mana is, I think, is very big, especially in competitive spaces. I also think making treasures is actually stronger than just drawing extra cards like you do in Notion Thief. Like, if Hull Breacher had been 4 mana, I think it'd be fine. If Hull Breacher didn't have Flash, it'd be fine. I think it's one of those things where the card was just slightly too pushed to make it okay for Commander. Like, it's just a little too strong, honestly. If it was 4 mana, it'd be fine, I think. But it's not, so... Womp womp. Iona! Boy, chat. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy, chat. Is Smothering Tithe 3 or 4? Smothering Tithe is 4. Smothering Tithe is 4. And also, Tithe does not stop your opponents from drawing cards. Also doesn't have Flash either. Iona, 6 white, 9 mana for a 7/7 flying angel creature. When she enters, choose a color. Your opponents can't cast spells of a chosen color. Iona was discussed heavily. On one hand, it's an awesome 9 mana angel that can create some pretty interesting decisions against a table of 3-card decks. On the other, it can shut down monocard decks and turn off half of a 2-card deck. The play pattern of this card is not the most fun, and we wanted to hold off for now. It could, theoretically, return to Commander in the future. Yeah, like... she's not the most bannable card, honestly. I remember when Iona got banned for the first time, people were like, wait, what? Like, everyone was kind of left scratching their heads being like, what? Why is she banned? No one was complaining about her. Like, Iona was a card that no one really complained about ever, to my knowledge. And at the time RC's reasoning was that it just completely shuts down monocard decks. That's it. Like, it's an unfun interaction, okay? You also have to be in a white deck that is casting this, and also be in a pod with a mono-color opponent. Where did I put her? I put her in extremely unlikely on my list. Okay. Leovold, no. Limited resources, no. Lutri. Poor Lutri. While the shell of the card is no doubt fine, and many players would love to see the auto free for their decks in a post-Bloomborough world, the painting restrictions mean that every deck with blue and red in its identity could include a copy at no cost. That's not appropriate or tenable. I could imagine a world with a allowed in the 99 only list that would free the honor to go into people's decks. But we're not doing this now, nor is there any guarantee we'll do that ever. So Lutri stays. We welcome your feedback. I guess the ban list also includes cards that weren't fun in casual games, so I don't know. I mean, yeah, it was kind of that. I'm getting pinged to my Discord. Oh, I can't believe this. Like, the ban list whole thing is that it's, like, just kind of unfun cards. Like, the old RC banned things for a multitude of reasons. It was, like, price, they're too powerful, they're not fun. Like, one of the biggest criticisms against the old RC was that their reasoning for banning things was never consistent. We have Gavin in charge now, so we'll see how that changes in the next few years. Nadu, no. Paradox Engine, ooh. I remember people were not happy about this one getting unbanned. Or getting banned, rather, sorry. Paradox Engine. 5 mana for a legendary artifact. Whenever you cast a spell, untap all non-land permanents you control. An incredibly easy combo and... Excuse me, oh my god. An incredibly easy combo and mana generation card. With all the artifact mana playing commander, I could imagine if brackets are strongly and widely adopted, us talking about it as a potential game changer. But we are a long way off from that. The more I learn about Magic, the more I learn about just how broken being able to untap something is. Oh yeah, dude. Dude. I remember when I first got into Commander, dude. This card caused so many just like groan fests. Cause like people would take these like infinite but not actually infinite combos where it's like, okay, I'm gonna sit here and cast spells and untap mana rocks and oh, my turn might end some point. I might win, I'm not really sure. Like the card caused a lot of grief just cause like people didn't really know how to run it properly. Prime time. Oh boy. Oh boy. Prime time. 4 green, 6/6 travel giant. When it enters or attacks, search for 2 land cards, put them into play tapped, then shuffle. While it is beloved and nostalgic, the amount this card accelerates is massive and can really dominate the game. Those who played it back when it was legal know how often the game would revolve around a prime time. Whether it died or not, owning it or otherwise, I do think this is a card that could potentially return and be put in the Game Changers list. Oh no! But this card can be extremely warping. Now was not the time. Oh god. Oh no. Oh no. Gavin, please, no! Don't bring him back. Leave him condemned to his pit of hell where he belongs. There's an entire deck in Modern built around this guy. Please don't unban him. Dude, we have, oh my god. We have Spelunking and fucking Amulet of Vigor and Commander, dude. Please, no. Please, no. Please. Please. The bastard child of the iconic Titan cycle. Oh, yeah. God, dude. Like, dude, here's the thing, right? Prime Time is, like, pretty much the only card on this list that actually scales with power creep. As lands get stronger, so does Prime Time. Bro, imagine someone cast Prime Time and they go and get Field of the Dead and Vesuva. Oh my god. Oh my god. Just go and grab 2 Field of the Deads. Yep, and make 4 2/2 zombies. Next turn, you'll make 4 more. He's basically saying, once we print enough overpowered new cards, Prime Time will be back. Oh, God, I hope not. Like, dude, Prime Time should not come off the list. It's... If he ever does get unbanned, I predict he'll get banned within the next 2 years. Because he's so good. Like, even the weakest application of I'm gonna get 2 basics every turn is still really good. That's still really good. Like, especially with haste, dude. Oh my god. Especially with haste. Oh my god. Like, if you're only fetching basics, I would say it's fine. The issue is that he's, like, a consistent landfall enabler, which is still, like... Does any other creature do that? What other creatures search for lands when they do something? Search land battlefield. Avatar of Growth, when it enters, every player searches. Elvish Reclaimer is a crop rotation on a body. Barven Elf gets a 1 basic. Fertility gets 2 for 2 mana each. Invasion of Zendikar gets lands and turns into a 4/4 with Vigilance and Haste, okay. Kodama is pretty close, but they only get basics and have to be in a modified deck to make it good. Eh. Primeval Herald. 4 mana, 3/1 trample. When it enters or attacks, search for a basic land card. Put it into play, tap, then shuffle. There's nothing, dude. Like, there is nothing that comes even close to what Prime Time does. At all. I don't know, chat. I'd say no, don't do it. Prophet of Krufix. 3 green blue. 5 mana for a 2/3 human wizard creature. Untap all creatures and lands you control during each other player's untap step. You may cast creature cards as Villiet Flash. Seedborn Muse just got promoted to the Game Changers list, and Prophet is that, but you also get free reign to play your spells on everyone else's turn. It's a really powerful card that also monopolizes the time of the game. The Prophet player gets an extra turn for playing creatures for each other person over and over again, absolutely dominating at lower power tables and still quite strong higher up. It isn't necessarily locked on the ban list forever, but now is not the time to remove it. I agree. I could see a world where this thing comes off. It is a 2/3 with no ward. Not hard to kill. It dies to nowhere to run. There is that. Chat, would you unban this or Prime Time? Would you unban this or Prime Time? Because I don't know. Probably this, honestly. Like, Cynic already does a bunch of broken crap nowadays. Do we care if Cynic gets one more busted card? I'm not sure we do, honestly. I'm not sure we do. So, yeah. Recurring Nightmare. Green and black. Sack creature, turn to your hand. Return a creature from your yard to play. The play pattern of repeatedly looping the same creatures and without an interaction window because the returning of the enchantment is a cost, and the combo potential leads to a card that is more likely to create harm and frustration than good. It is nostalgic, which is nice, but not a card we wanted to touch at this time. I'd say just don't unban it. Like, we already got the Chthonian Nightmare. The energy version, which is just recurring Nightmare but fixed. Play this. It's fine. Rathalos. No. Thundering Titan. If I'm being real, they should unban this, but you know. I'm crazy for that. Thundering Titan, 8 mana, 7/10. When it enters or leaves battlefield, choose a land of each basic land type, then destroy those lands. This card is miserable. This card is miserable at low power tables, as it blows up tons of your opponent's lands and tends to get blinked, reanimated, or otherwise triggered time and time again. It's a fairly unfun experience. It's possible that as brackets continue to increase in adoption, maybe this would be an acceptable game changer. Though even then, upgraded decks don't want mass lands all around. I'd say this one is possible, but an uphill battle. So honestly, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I just want to play him for the art. The art is cool. With the watermark too, dude. Oh my god. I need this in foil, dude. I need this in foil. Dude, he has so much aura. Look at him. He has so much aura, dude. He is definitely cool. Favor is nice. There's the OG printing too. I don't really care for this version. It's the new art I like a lot. Watermark makes it good too. He's so cool, dude. I would like to see him unbanned, but I get why he wouldn't be, honestly. Sylvan Primordial. Oh no. 5 green. The bastard child of the Primordial cycle. 6/8 reach avatar creature. When this creature enters the battlefield, for each opponent, destroy target non-creature permanent that player controls. For each permanent destroyed this way, search your library for a forest card and put that card on battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Forest card, not basic forest. So you can cast this thing, blow up 3 things, and go and grab 3 triumphs. Okay, great. Yeah, awesome. Speaking of blinking and land destruction, Sylvan Primordial puts you ahead, while like everybody else back and is a prime candidate to clone, blink, and flicker. It is not the most fun card, especially at more casual tables. This one I could see unbanned in the future! As we adapt and evolve brackets, we decided not to touch it for now. No. It's fine. No, it's not. No. Like, compared to Prime Time, I don't think he's that bad. It's more so the fact that, like, dude, we have Terastodon, okay? 8 mana for a 9/9. Destroy 3 non-creature permanents, and then they get elephants back as reparations. Primordial says, no, you get nothing. I get 3 basic lands, at least. And also it costs 7 and not 8. Like, it is so much stronger than Terastodon, dude. I would not unban this thing. No way. But, baby. I don't think green needs help. Tinker, no. Academy, no. Trade secrets, collusion, no. Upheaval. It's blue Armageddon, but you can actually play around it. Because you just float mana and cast commander and rocks and whatnot. Yeah, okay. Dogmoss Bargain. 4 black enchantment, 6 mana, skip your draw step, 8-1 life, draw a card. Necropotence is very strong, is now a game changer. Bargain, while more expensive, gives you the cards immediately and it's combo off. Possible that this could become a game changer, since Necropotence is similar, but I would not plan on this returning. Okay. Emrakul Unbanned. Next tier for sure. Emrakul Unbanned. Next tier for sure. Alright. Let's go over brackets now. Commander brackets beta update, chat. Any more drink. Okay, so we got an update to the actual brackets. Not only did they actually provide a new graphic for the brackets themselves, they also updated the game. They also updated the game changer list actually, and we have like 20 more game changers added, which is actually nuts. They also added like 20 more game changers, which is actually kind of nuts, to be honest. So the bracket system in review. So I think nothing has changed against. I think nothing has changed about the actual like restrictions of each bracket. This actually gave us more of a description of what each bracket is. So bracket 1, decks prioritize theme over function and showcase a unique idea or experience over valuing winning. Bracket 2 is essentially the modern day precon. Decks are focused even if every card choice isn't the highest power, and comparable to the average precon, wins are often telegraphed or incremental. Upgraded, bracket 3, decks are thoughtfully designed, full of synergistic or strong cards. Games could end out of nowhere with powerful spells and late game combos. Bracket 4 is optimized. Decks are turbocharged with most powerful cards in the format. Everybody intends to win and is ready to play against anything. And bracket 5 is CDH. Decks are built to win in the competitive metagame. Players intend to use only the most powerful strategies. The restrictions between bracket 4 and 5 are 0. I think it's mostly just like if I'm taking, I mean, this is my opinion. I would say that if I'm trying to take my, I don't know, example, Arcanus. Arcanus is absolutely not a meta CDH commander. But if I'm trying to make him as strong as I possibly can, with like fast mana, expensive cards, you know, all that stuff, he's probably bracket 4. He's probably bracket 4. But if I take Urza and I try and make him as strong and as competitive as I possibly can, he's probably bracket 5, because Urza is actually very highly tiered in CDH compared to Arcanus. The Commander Brackets beta was something entirely new. revealed it and eagerly awaited all of your feedback with the initial test at MagicCon Chicago. We've all spent a ton of time pouring through your feedback, watching videos, reading articles, spending time on social media, and talking with all of you. Personally, while I haven't been able to respond to every message, I have read them all and feel like I've learned so much. Thank you for all of your feedback. It really makes a difference. Overall, I would say that feedback has been far more positive than negative. People are excited to have something to try for career matchmaking. And most of all, it provided additional terminology to talk about the games you want to play, all while reminding folks of the importance of pre-game conversations. Watching it in action at Chicago was wonderful. Watching it in action at Chicago was wonderful. I had multiple players tell me the brackets led to some of the most evenly matched commander games they've played at a MagicCon yet. But those are just my anecdotes. Let's get to some actual data. In the official survey done for MagicCon Chicago, 87% of people who tried the bracket system said it was helpful in their games. Incredible! That's a big number! That's really good! Nice! The online player pool is another place to look for data. I talked with the Moto team over at Daybreak Games, and about half of all computer games on Moto are using the bracket system. They also let me know they're actively working on implementing the system programmatically whenever possible. It's unofficial, but I also talked with Amy, who runs Spellbot, which pairs commander games across many major Discord servers. About 54% of all games on those servers use commander brackets to pair people. That's pretty good. Not really. I mean it's every other person. The system adoption is high for something only 2 months old, which is great to see. Now, I also don't want to take these early wins as a sign that the system is perfect. One of the easiest ways to fail in the long term is to succeed early and think you can stop improving. We've heard a ton of feedback about the system, and while plenty of it's positive, there's also room for clarity, expansion, and refinement. How many brackets should there be? Should the exhibition bracket exist? Is the upgraded bracket too broad? What is the exact list of math and instruction? What does a few tutors mean? Should there be a bracket 3.5, 2.5, or something between brackets? We talked through a range of changes in this vein to move some verbiage and goalposts around. However, as we looked into it more, we decided against changing the tiny details of the systems early. While the most involved Magic players may have digested it already, it's taking time to trickle out and be adapted by the broad community. Tons of content creators have made pieces explaining the system. People are just starting to learn how it works and what it is. If we go down this path every 2 months and rearrange all the pieces of a system that has been overall quite successful thus far, it's going to erode people's ability to learn the system properly. It also takes some time to learn new information, apply it, and update decks accordingly. A great example is the Exhibition, Bracket 1. When we announced the system, the Exhibition had a small pool of people who were excited about it, but a lot more who didn't have decks to that bracket. We heard about little Bracket 1 play initially. Were we wrong to include that bracket? Now, we've given people time to begin understanding Bracket 1 and build decks with it in mind. We are seeing it grow. With streams highlighting the bracket, people showing off their exhibition decks, and so on, while it may not expand to a wider audience, we shouldn't cut that and treat them off before it has a chance to grow. I agree. Sometimes people do want to make complete jank. I'm gonna build 9 Titans from Urza era. Meanwhile, we only have 5 cards. out of the 9 we need to actually build that deck. Also, I think like 2 of the Titans have like no cards that depict them at all. Like there's Christina of the Woods, who has no cards at all from that era. Also Daria, who I think has like 1 card ever. It's like Aura Blast or something. Yeah, here. That's Daria. And there's no card for her. Not Darissa, no. There's this girl, I guess. Okay, wow. So, we want to keep everything as is to allow for folks to experience the brackets, calibrate their decks, and see what each bracket looks like. We will likely still tweak some things, but other things may naturally fall into place as more people try out and discuss the system. We will continue to run the Commander Brackets beta test this year, and you can expect us to come back with any actual system level changes later this year. We're imagining some time before MagicCon Atlanta, but we don't want to lock down a time right now. To be clear, Commander Brackets are not receiving any changes at this time. The system is still in the beta stage. Got it. However, oh boy, that doesn't mean we're not making any changes to pieces. When we roll the system out, we tried to keep the game changer list small. We were worried about the number of cards people had to track and worked with great community tools like Architect, Boxfield, and Trifall to make sure those sites were ready to roll out and track those immediately. While a precaution I'm glad we took, we may have overcorrected a bit. The overwhelming response and most common point of feedback was that people could do with a lot more game changes. Having this set list and shared language has been helpful when talking about games. Additionally, adding more game changers will help the brackets by pushing some decks upward. So today, we are adding significantly more game changers. This way, the system as you learned it stays the same, but the list of game changers is clear and easy to reference. I also want to touch on one aspect we want to emphasize when you select your next bracket. And when we first rolled out a bracket system, one mistake I believe we made was to not emphasize how important intent you have for your deck is when nothing is bracket. The game changers list and the bracket guidelines got most of the emphasis and intent at the sideline. However, in terms of importance, those should be flipped. Intent is the most important part of the bracket system. While there are guidelines to keep in mind when deck building, game changers in Expedition 4, send down to an upgrade, etc., the bracket system is emphatically, not empathetically, emphatically.
Emphatically.
Emphatically. Emphatically. The bracket system is emphatically, not just put your deck into a calculator, get assigned a rank, and ready to play. I deeply appreciate the tools that websites like Moxfield and Architect have put together to give you an overall estimate, and they have done some fantastic iteration to help emphasize the intent as well. But I want to stress that any estimate is just an estimate. It's on you to use what you know to label your deck correctly. I can easily build a deck that technically meets all the rules of Core, bracket 2, and plays at the power level of Optimized, bracket 4. As I'm sure many of you can too. As I'm sure many of you can too. Those tools are helpful directions and guidelines, but ultimately, knowing your own intent is the most critical piece of this whole thing. You can always bracket decks up, meaning you can know that your deck meets the description of a core bracket 2 deck, but plays like an upgraded bracket 3 deck. So you should bracket it at bracket 3. If you make a fully tricked out Goblin deck that uses no game changers, it's probably not a core deck, despite technically meeting the deck building rules. That's where the descriptions shared in the first article really come into play and why they are vital. Those are far more important than just looking down checklists and making sure your deck doesn't violate any of the rules. Is it imperfect because it requires people to gauge their own decks? Yes, absolutely. There will always be some of that, but using the descriptions to direct you should point you toward the bracket your deck sits in. As time has gone on, this notion has trickled out through content creators' social media. As time has gone on, this notion has trickled out through content creators and social media. I think a lot of players out there are beginning to understand this piece, but I really want to emphasize it. It's on each of you to be honest as you can in evaluating your deck. Don't be afraid to bracket up or at least have a pre-game conversation about what your deck is trying to do. And if you're building your deck to be technically imbalanced by the card guidelines, but substantially stronger, but other people are doing at that bracket, so you can stop them, then you are being a bad actor. Okay, that said, let's move to the game changers list. I'm not gonna go over all these. Let's go over the game changer removals first. The first card being delisted is Trouble in Pairs. This card has certainly emerged as a standout card since it was released about a year ago, and while it can draw a lot of cards, it's on par with some cards that are not on the list. The general feeling is that it is just slightly under the bar for game changers, and that we probably jumped the starting line a little on this one. It's plausible it could get added back in the future as the list evolves and we receive more feedback. This one's very strange to me. I really thought this one fit a lot on the list. This is White's Ristic Study, but it's arguably stronger because Ristic Study, it's like your opponents can stop you from drawing cards. Your play patterns aren't fully halted with a Ristic Study. You just gotta pay extra mana and you're fine. Trouble in Pairs, it's like you have to grind your deck to a halt to ensure that the Trouble in Pairs player draws no cards. I really thought this one was fine. I'm not sure why they want to delist it, but I guess doing that. The second card being listed is Trinisphere. This card is not the most fun card to play against, no denying that. However, it tends to be strongest at the highest power. It tends to be strongest at the highest power levels, like Optimized and CDH. There are many cards on the level of unfun stats pieces, like Spear of Resistance, Rule of Law, Nether Void, that aren't on the game changers list. And generally, if your deck is trying to lock other players out in a stack style, that's a play pattern that doesn't match the intent of bracket 2, and you should bracket up. If you want to play a single fair Trinisphere, it may be a little frustrating, but also reasonable. Trouble in Pairs getting reprinted confirmed? I mean, maybe. I mean, first of all, I'm surprised they didn't expedite this getting reprinted at all, because the art is plagiarized, isn't it? I'm surprised it hasn't gotten a reprint yet, given the whole controversy with the artists. This art has a bunch of ripped assets from another artist, I think, or something like that. I definitely saw something about how the artists plagiarize. So I'm surprised that factor alone didn't cause a reprint with new art to get expedited. to like a sooner set, if I'm being real. But I don't know. We're adding 18 cards. I'm not gonna go over all these. I mean, they're all pretty fair, I think. Feel the Dead, thank God. I mean, these Teferi's Pro. Why? It's just like a super fog. It is a super fog. That's all it does, I feel like, but okay. Card is overhyped in my opinion, but then again, I've never cast one, so how could I know? I am the tweaking there. Humility, I agree. We have 3 cards that all have the exact same effect being put on here. Narset, Bowmasters, and Notion Thief. These are 3 cards that punish card draw or just stop you from drawing cards entirely. Narset... I've ran Narset in so many decks, not because of the card draw stopping effect. Dude, I run her for the -2 effect. She is just a really good card draw spell. I don't even care about the each opponent can't draw more than 1 card each turn attacks. I don't care about that. She impulses twice and then is extra value on top for free at no extra cost. But I mean, if we're gonna game changer Notion Thief and Bowmaster, so you probably should probably game changer her too, even though she herself is not a Flash. Tuition, I agree. This thing is a combo enabler. It's only ever used for combos. No one casts a fair intuition. That's not a thing people do. So, okay. Consecrated Sphinx, I agree. Draws crap load of cards. Game changer. Necropotence. How was this not here at the beginning? Game changer. SWAT. Basically a free counterspell in red. I agree. 1-mana tutors. I agree. If Esper is gonna get their 1-mana tutors game changer, so should Rule. I agree. Seedborn Muse. Why? 3 green, 2/4 Spirit. Untap all permanents you control during each other push on tap step. This card causes you to take what is essentially, when built properly, 3 additional turns worth of effects turn cycle. It also causes one player to take a disproportionate amount of time in the game. Gamble is iffy. I mean, like, it's definitely the weakest 1-mana tutor out there compared to, like, Mystical and Enlighten and all them, but it still is a 1-mana tutor. Like, if we're gonna game changer Espers, Red should catch some flack too, I think. So, when built properly, it causes 3 extra turns of effects worth of turns, whatever. When built properly, Seedborn Muse causes players to make 3 extra turns of effects each cycle. Does any other game changer have that? I don't think so. Every other game changer here just immediately swings the game on its own just by existing. As far as I can tell, Seedborn Muse is the only card here you have to really build around to be good. I guess there's like Aura Shards, Plague Creatures, oh god. Like you have to be in a green instant heavy deck for Seedborn Muse to be good. I feel like not a lot of those exist. Or like abilities. Like okay, there's Thrasios. She's good in Thrasios. I'll give you that. Who was playing Thrasios in casual? No one. Habifast go crazy. I don't know, man. Like, see more Muse to me feels weird. Like, it's the only game changer on here I can tell where your deck really needs to be built around it for it to be good. Maybe I'm crazy. Natural Order cheats out a gigantic creature, not good. Food Chain, Combo Enabler, Aura Shards is actually like a really busted card. If you're in green-white, you should play this. It's very good. Feel the Dead, let's go! Finally! I'm not... Dude, how was this one not on here in the first place? How? I don't understand. That thing should have been on that list day one. Workshop, it's like a better Ancient Tomb. It's really good. Farewell, no. Okay, so these are cards they've considered adding but don't want to. Farewell, oh my god. Commander players win 6 mana sorcery. Okay. Alms Collector, it's 4 mana and only punishes draw 2 or more, it's fine. Mana Drain. It's not free, but it does give you mana back. Mystic Remora. The feeling was that this is strongest at tables of high-powered magic and weaker at lower brackets than it stood. I'd probably add this. Like, it's basically like a 1-mana Rhystic Study that dies in like 2 turns. That your opponents can't pay mana for because you gotta pay 4 mana to stop it. It's not gonna happen. I might game changer this, honestly. Consider removing Time Force of Will. I wouldn't. It is like the de facto free counter spell. I wouldn't move it. Wheels? No. Grave Pact and Dictate? No. You have to be in a sack deck for them to be good? No. Necro Dominance? It's the fair deck opponents. No. What? It's a finisher. No. Ah! Okay, they considered adding Green Sun, Zenith, Court of Calling, Finale Devastation, and Tooth and Nail. Okay. My god. We wanted to hit Natural Order because of its ability to tutor anything from 4 mana on the field. These tutors do find something, but not at nearly as efficient of a rate, and the few tutors restriction should ideally keep lower brackets from filling their decks with these. And then To the Nail is a finisher, Defense of the Heart is a finisher. Okay, they actually really did consider adding like 6 green tutors to the game changer list. Wow. That's kind of nuts, actually. Bro, if all of these became game changers, that might be like a actually really big nerf to green. Bro, Green Sun, Zenith, Court of Calling, Finale, and Tooth and Nail, all on the game changer lists. That's nuts. That's like a big deal for green. They need those, kind of. They don't really need them, but that'd be a big nerf. I might do that, actually. Soul Ring? Okay. There has been some discourse around whether or not Soul Ring should be a game changer, and if all decks should be allowed one game changer. While we're not doing system level changes at this time, I want to re-emphasize what I said in the previous article, that Soul Ring is a huge face of Commander, handed down from Sheldon himself, and we are not planning to change or restrict it at this time. In terms of the every deck gets one game changer card discussion, an important piece of the game changers list involves creating a safety bubble. If you don't want to have to play against Ristic Study, Loving Tithe, or Psych Grift, you have a bracket you can play at where you have a bracket you can play at where won't. Oh boy. Typo. Allowing everybody to play one. What? Oh. Allowing everybody to play one flies in the face of that. Okay. We want to give the brackets and the updated list of game changers time to soak in and settle. While we do anticipate making nudges to the game changers list in the future, a massive addition like you've seen today is not something we generally want to do. Our goal today was to expand upon what was laid out, and then see what the response is. We want to just let those sit for a while. You shouldn't expect anything until sometime after MagicCon Las Vegas around June 20th, 22nd. In the meantime, we would like to use the remainder of this year to focus on writing and crystallizing brackets and the game changer philosophy. Listen and build out the bracket system further with some eventual small tweaks, and return to regular, more typical communication with all of you. If you are wondering about future bans and unbans, there will be no more announced this calendar year, as stated in today's announcement. To keep up regular touch points with all of you, we are going to be reinstating the quarterly check-ins that the former Commander RC used to do. Sometimes they'll be short, sometimes they'll be a little lengthier, but I think it's a great thing to do for communication and keeping you all informed of what we're working on. So given all of that, you can expect the next update in late June or early July. We'll let you know about any tweaks to the game changers list at that time, the state of the bracket system, and any other updates somewhere around then. Okay. I agree with all these. Gavin, of course, once again, proves himself to be an absolute jewel of the Commander base, and Wasi in general. He is, please protect that man. He does so much good for this game. I swear. Gavin is an absolute jewel of Magic in general. Only thing I somewhat disagree with is Seaborn Muse being added as a game changer, and what is it? Trouble in Pairs being removed as a game changer. Those are really the only two things I disagree with. But other than that, I think it's fine. Gavin's the best, bro. Gavin's awesome. And then this is our final list, which honestly I think looks way better than the first list, dude. This is a massive improvement compared to the first list of game changers. It's so much better. It is so much better, dude. Oh my god. That out of the way. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If you want to support me directly, you can consider becoming a member of the channel. For only $2 a month, you'll get access to a member exclusive Discord server where you can hang out with fellow Bounce Banners. And in addition, you'll also get access to exclusive emotes such as Loot Chains. Hope you all enjoyed the stream. Hope you enjoyed watching, and I will see you all next time.